exciting. So exciting. Welcome to the Cafe Nut Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the first of October 2024, and that means we have started our first. Yeah, let's call it first. It's not really the first harvest season, but it's the first harvest season. It's the first harvest season being that since Upland has introduced seasons throughout the year and the gamified earnings and how those all work. This is our first harvest season. Good to see you, Mages. So it is getting into the first harvest season. Along with that come a few things. First and foremost, the first cosmetic drop of harvest season did happen today. It was the first day of the month, but it was also the first cosmetic drop. We do have the clarifications of harvest season gamified earnings. It's important. Neighborhoods update. Again, we did have that kind of soft start last month, and they corrected it. So it's hard starting, and the previous ways that the neighborhood ratings were done, that ended yesterday technically, and today starts the new regimen, the new way it's running. And again, that means we start all over with different people at the top, different people at different places throughout the line for the order. So we'll get into that. And of course, we did start officially harvest season. That comes along with everything that is in there for gamified challenges. When we talk about the racing series gets started today, and we're going to see a couple other things that kind of go along with the harvest season as well. The challenges, obviously, if we have any additional challenges, I would love to see another ornament decorating challenge come into place. So we haven't had one for a while because when that's tied directly to the season, because we know we are in harvest season, which is kind of fun. But we will have that ornament contest that we've had this monthly contest, which is essentially who has the most ornaments and can get them up. Let's get the show started with getting the disclaimer out of the way. I'll be using opinions expressed myself, they're mine and mine alone. Should everything as game strategy or financial advice, and represent the game of the team of Upland. And any guests and contributors who do have their own opinions, so welcome to them, but they should not be taken as game strategy or financial advice. I represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Nut Show, the game, or the team of Upland. Got that out of the way. Again, like I said, there's a number of announcements worth taking a look at today. And a couple pieces that obviously do represent and do stand out for the rest of the month here. First and foremost, right up front, getting shared here and opened is our gamified earnings task. This is something that I kind of, maybe it would be nice to have it earlier. Maybe it would have been nice to have it before the month ticked over, but that's okay. Again, early in the day today, 11:26 a.m. my time, which means it was just before 9 a.m. PT. We did have this announcement out. It's that time of year again, or that time of the month, or that time of the season, or however we want to put it. The new season starts. The gamified tasks are out, ready for the season's earning potential, as well as a Sparklet drop. Well, actually, two Sparklet drops that are tied to this season as well. This time around, we have simplified things even further. You'll want to check out all the changes here. So, excuse me. There's a couple things that are worth seeing here with the changes. We'll get into those. But we do have to come in here. It looks very Minecrafty. Upland called this season, pixel, or that the style was pixel. A couple people correctly said look more voxel. It does look voxel. It's very Minecrafty or sandboxy, and not so much as it's a real pixel format. We're thrilled to kick off harvest season with exciting updates to our gamified earnings. This season, we're shaking things up a bit to offer even more opportunities for players to maximize their earning potentials. There's a couple interesting things that come along with the way this season's been structured. What are gamified earnings? We kind of know about this. Obviously, we complete tasks along the way. It can improve our dividends. It also is used to determine how much you are earning for a multiplier when we talk about these airdrops, because we will have 2 Sparklet airdrops this month. The reminder is the purpose of these airdrops is to reward those who had Sparklet and earned Sparklet prior to the TGE and then kept that Sparklet in the game of Upland. Any calculations of the amount that's being calculated for your distribution, for your reward, is based on the amount of Sparklet you had earned prior to the TGE and kept in the game, and then multiplied by multiplier, which is determined by the number of tasks you complete during this season. What is the harvest season? Well, harvest season is this time of year What is new? What has changed? All players need to complete 5 tasks to reach 14.7. That's not new. We've listed 10 core tasks below, but there's more. Every Tuesday, and this is kind of cool, every Tuesday during the season from October 1st through the 15th of November, we'll announce a new bonus task, giving you a total of 16 total missions to choose from. Players only need to complete 12 of these tasks to unlock the bonus 3.1 times multiplier. So there is more tasks overall, or enough tasks overall, that you don't have to complete them all. Complete just 12 of them to get to the 3.1 times multiplier, which gets you the 15.1 annualized rate of 15.1% dividends on the properties you hold. So that's kind of a little bit easy, a little bit simplified. Again, there's things that you may not be doing. It's nice that we can get there relatively easily, or more easily than in previous seasons. Mix and match tasks and complete them your own way. Starting October 1st at 9 a.m. PT, the new gamified earnings missions open up, and players can track their progress and complete missions on the leaderboard, accessible right here and through the in-game updates, so you'll always know where you stand in the competition. Here are your 10 core tasks to get started for this season. We have the Harvest Regular, which is to log in 25 days during the season. This is something that happens over time. Keep in mind, I do want to point out, some of these things take some time to complete, and especially since we have an airdrop that's happening on the 30th of this month, we want to make sure that we get these ones that have or take time to get checked off. That they take weeks of having a ornament up, or if the task is to check in a certain number of days, that we have to do those things up front. We have to front load those things so we can get as many check marks along the way for that first airdrop. Again, 25 days throughout is the Harvest Regulars. The Daily Streaker, that's just mine. I want to keep that up. The Daily Streaker, log in 7 days in a row at any point during the season. Again, if you log in every day, you log in every day. Property Pioneer, mint 3 properties during the season. That's one of those things that if we have a new city released, we do have one open right now. We can go in mint in Frederick, which opened just barely. You'll have the opportunity to go back and mint there. The Ornament Touch. Apply a harvest ornament to your property for at least 3 weeks. Again, get that up early so that you can get 21 days or get the 3 weeks in straight before we get to the 30th of this month. Collection Conqueror. Complete 5 collections for the first time. 5 is a lot of new collections. It may necessitate buying a total of, up to 20 properties, 15, 20 properties, again, depending on what the collections are to get there. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of purchasing. Again, they have to be the right properties. There's other ways to complete collections. There's trading, swapping, buying one property when you already have 2 in the collection. So there's a lot of opportunities to get those collections. It's not necessarily going and buying that 15 or 20 properties just for specific collections, but it can get additive if you have plenty of collections now and you're having to, if you don't find a whole new collection, again, up to 15, 20 properties to pick up those new collections along the way, a total of 5 or more for the season. Secondary Market Specialist. Buy 5 properties on the secondary market. Swaps don't count. You have to buy them. So, again, this is something that people could be doing towards getting a collection. So this could be something that is additive. This could be something that is stackable. This is something that we could be playing the game of Upland and checking multiple things off along the way while doing, again, some of the paired tasks, some of the tasks that do stack along the way. MetaVenture Shopper, buy 3 properties from MetaVenture Shops. SPH Stakers, stake 150 Spark Hours. I just about did that today already. Spark Hours during the season. Referral Ambassador, earn a referral bonus by inviting new players. They must level up for it to count as a referral. City Builder, build in 3 different cities. And then the Mystery Mission. Again, there are a total of 6 mystery missions each week. You add a new one here. Weekly bonus mission will be announced every Tuesday. Total of 6 for the season that you can complete. How gamified earnings work. The earnings increase your Upland or your Upland earnings. So essentially the way you are getting your dividends. Dividends are based on the amount of OPEX or the percent dividend that you get over the course of the year. That starts out at being 4.7. 4.7 with multipliers applied based on the number of tasks you complete. We've taken a look at this before. The table's there. Essentially, if you complete 12 tasks, you get a 3.1 times multiplier, getting you to a 15.2% annualized earnings. Again, that's not 15.2% for the month or for the season. It's for the year. It's over the course of the year or at that rate. 14.7 if you complete 5. So it's a pretty big responsibility or requirement to jump from the 14.7 percent earnings to the 15.2% earnings, but there is the option there to do so. Gamified UPX earnings, again, are a forward-looking system. So what you do in this season to earn, that's what you're going to get paid out over the course of the next season. So for me, what I just did in Sizzle season, that's what's going to determine my dividends for this harvest season. And everybody else in the game, right along the same boat. Task completed during harvest season, again, I'm going to count towards the 1 season. Duh. Move it forward. Just count those forward. Seasonal sparklet drops. Again, I mentioned there are 2 this month. There is going to be one on the 30th and one on the 15th. You can see that we have some multipliers that go along the way. Multipliers built on the same thing as our dividend multiplier. The more tasks we complete, the higher our multiplier. Multiplier is multiplied by whatever your TGE earning is. Again, it's not 1 for 1 with the amount that you earned, but it starts out with a coefficient to what you earned and held on to prior to the TGE and kept in the game until now. And then you have this multiplier. You can multiply that up to 5.1 times. That's by completing 15 of the 16 tasks. Ooh, look, there's 16 tasks. 15 of them get you 5.1. If you can only get 12, you end up at 3.6 times multiplier. Complete as many as you possibly can. Again, the points get accumulated by multiplying the minimum sparklet count by your missions multiplier. The pool is the pool. The more people who complete more tasks, you get a percentage share, and you get what you get at that point. You can increase your multiplier by 0.25% by importing or bridging in, I should say, 500 or more sparklet into the game during that season. So you can buy them elsewhere on exchange, bridge them into the game of Upwind. By doing so, you get a 0.25 multiplier boost. Again, 500 sparklet brought in during a season. The upcoming seasonal snapshot dates are as follows. Like I said, the 30th of this month, that's the 30th of October, that's the day before Halloween, and then November 15th, which is the absolute last day of the season of harvest season. We do have 2 more after that. This is into Wonderland season, so the 30th of December, which is in Wonderland season, and then the 15th of January, which is the very last day of that Wonderland season. Note these numbers and conditions are subject to change based on analytical results from different drops. Stay tuned for more updates. Again, this is what we expect to be the case for the next 4 drops. Get ready for harvest season. Obviously, it started today. Possibilities are endless. Not really. We know they're pretty well defined, but we do have the race series that's going to be going on this month, which you haven't talked too much about yet. We do have the drops throughout the month, and obviously gamified tasks and earnings affect both our dividends and 2 sparklet airdrops. Keep that up. Keep that in mind. Work on it. And again, this is what we're looking at for the course of the next month and a half here for our harvest season. Good to see you. Good to see you, Blue, Lily, Magist. Oh, Real Note LA. Look at that. And good to see you, Wolf Warner. I'm glad that you are back in Brooklyn and making things happen. Here we go. Let's take a look at the other piece here. Obviously, the harvest passes were announced yesterday. The actual first drop did happen today. And it's one of those things that even though they went on sale yesterday, even though today was the first day of the month or the first day of the season, you had to burn it before 9 a.m. PT. And if you didn't get the first drop. That first drop, like I said, was this morning. So if you missed it, you missed it. But the drops are live, so let's take a look at them. What you would have gotten had you burnt in time. We know there's 4 rarities of the passes. The Axe blocking score, there it is. The Axe rare. Oh, look at that. The Axe legendary. Ooh, look at that. We have the badge. Congrats. Get your pass about and don't miss on this drop. So Again, we will see this throughout the rest of the month. Again, key note here is these drops are gonna have to be burnt. You're gonna burn your pass before Tuesday. If you miss this Tuesday, you can burn it this week, and then for the following Tuesday, you get the drop. 9 a.m. PT is that cutoff. So burn between now and 9 a.m. PT if you want to have for the rest of the month. Keep in mind, there's no retroactivity. There's no makeup catch-ups you don't get, and there's no way to get what has already dropped. First drop was weird. Rare and legendary axes, same tool, huh? Yeah, I guess it's the idea of celebrating the fact that there's differentiation in the passes themselves. But the reality is, as we said last season, is why are we having the differentiations in these passes? If you burn them, you get the same thing. I guess it's a way of celebrating the look and the feel of the different passes, and that the rare one upwind says to be special in some way. I think the special in some way would be if there's an incentive for burning the rare one. It would be if you got the rare one, something else happened. Again, making it collectible, making few of them out there, it doesn't feel as special as if it had a differentiated role or it affected the game in a different way. Maybe Upwind will come up with that for future months or future seasons here down the line. Neighborhood ratings update. We already talked about this where things, got defined a little bit. Upland accidentally or purposely, or I don't know, had rolled out the new Upland rating system, the neighborhood rating system for a short period of time, came back and clawed that back and said, no, we'll start that next season. And that's exactly what we're doing. And here we are. We're on the next season. The new neighborhood ratings and updates are up right now, and they have been applied. As a reminder, there's a breakdown to the changes for the current neighborhood ratings challenge and new neighborhood ratings challenge here and above. Keep in mind, we are talking about the new neighborhood rating challenge is what we have moving forward. Again, starting October 1st, the new guidelines are going to be in place. We are going to be seasonally aligned instead of being on a monthly basis, which was the previous, which means there's 6 update periods or upgrade periods throughout the year, earnings periods throughout the year to earn a new collection, as opposed to the 12 that were previously the case. There's new pieces that come into play. There is a modifier for the size of the neighborhood, where larger neighborhoods have some adjustment. Paid sends count. Boost with seasonal ornaments. So seasonal ornaments count as a boost for being up. Active players matter. Again, people and their activity in the game, again, being rewarded for not just having people call residents in your neighborhood, but actually being continued active participants in the game. The idea of the collections upgrade, again, we've gone to this seasonal basis, but we also have now a seasonal competition between those who have already earned their collection. Again, these are previous neighborhood ratings challenge winners going head to head, going up the ladder or down the ladder. This is something we've talked about as being again affecting primarily the winners of the top tier, and then obviously potentially having a downgrade for being down the bottom. So first, second, third, and fourth, they get a first, second, and third get a little boost. 0.3 multiplier or 0.3 times multiplier boost to first place, 0.2 multiplier boost to second, 0.1 multiplier boost to third place, and fourth and on get 0 multiplier boost. If you're in last place, you get 0.1 times multiplier penalty. It's negative. You lose 0.1 times multiplier on your neighborhood boost. Again, this is to reward not just those who have gotten to this point. It's those who can increase their collection status or increase their points. The key note to keep in mind here is that if you've gone and you've built your neighborhood as much as it possibly be built, and there's no room to build it up anymore, get more assets in there, get more structural ornaments up, and whatever the case is, you can't do any more than you're already doing. You're not going to continue to climb these rankings. We'll have to see how it plays out. Maybe you could do a little bit more. Maybe you could bring more in. Maybe you can invest more sparkle. But you only have as many properties as you have in a neighborhood. Maybe, just maybe, a larger neighborhood gets a little bit additional boost there, because you could kind of bring new people in over time and they can do more activity. But if you're a small neighborhood and you're max capped and you're fully built out and everything's built in the neighborhood and you're doing everything you can with structural ornaments already, we'll have to see 6 months, 8 months, 10 months down the road how much more you can do than you did the prior month. The Neighborhood Collection Upgrade Challenge introduces a fresh layer of competition. Again, it is not only a matter of doing something to get to a collection status. Now it's competing against those who did the same thing as you over time. Top performing neighborhoods gain earning boosts, with lower ranking moving down the ranking. You have the potential of losing your collection or neighborhood collection multiplier altogether by multiple seasons in a row. Being at the bottom of the rankings again. If you can't keep up, maybe your city or your node or your neighborhood is no longer active, no longer qualifies. With a chance to unlock higher rarity and even greater rewards over time. Again, this idea, this concept is we've changed things over a little bit. We had multipliers before. We had requirements to get to those multipliers before. Now this is a little different. Average spark hours, average number of residents, average number of meta ventures per property, average SPH allocated for map assets, average UPX contributed, number of paid sends, seasonal ornaments, neighborhoods with most active players. And again, this is calculated and updated once a day for neighborhood rankings, ratings to boost yourself along the way on the new neighborhood rating system. And again, it's updated once a day. That means if you change things 2 minutes ago, don't expect it to show up immediately. But it does mean if you did something yesterday, maybe it will show up today. Benefits of neighborhood ratings. Again, this is just about having a little bit of two things. Number one is having that neighborhood collection. Number two is having a multiplier. That we talked about dividend multipliers. It's nice to have a collection multiplier. One more. The one argument I'll have against these neighborhood collections is you compete and you compete and you compete. Some neighborhoods are really exclusive. They've got a lot of people in them. They have very few properties. I'm in a couple like that that are very close to hitting collection. The interesting thing is there are, and the great thing, I should say interesting, great thing is there's a lot of different people who only have one or two properties in that neighborhood, and they're all putting effort in, and they're all putting their structural ornaments in, and they're putting map passes in their property, and maybe that person has one or two meta ventures in the area, but they don't have 3 or 4 properties because there's so few properties to go around, and there's so many people in the neighborhood, and it's just vibrant. Well, you might help win that to being a collection, neighborhood collection, but the neighborhood collection is likely going to require you to have 3 properties to put in there to get the benefit, to get the dividend. And that's part of the interesting concept here is if you have a lot of residents in your neighborhood, you're less likely to have as many properties to go around for everyone to have 3 so they can have a collection. It's an interesting concept, but I guess the more important thing is the bragging rights to win that along the way. Active neighborhood gets the bragging rights. I'm sure plenty of people will be plenty happy with that in and of itself. A neighborhood collection spawn competition. To win, neighborhoods should work together, achieve the highest rating on the collection leaderboard, and again, winning node gets a standard neighborhood collection, and then you get to compete down the line in the essentially upgrade, the neighborhood collection upgrade competition when they happen down the line. Now that we have that extra layer, those who have earned their collections throughout the year can continue to participate, continue to build up the neighborhood. There will be rewards to do so, and I'm looking very much to see what this looks like. I know people have fun with it. Keep it friendly. But I know people have fun with it, building and upgrading their neighborhoods. Congrats to St. James. This is come from Magis, second home. Again, neighborhoods continue to make their way up. Let's make El Serena, aka home of the real note, LA, a collection. I hear you on that. Elijah, one thing I'd say is obviously it's a very large neighborhood, but yes, I mean there are and there can be some pretty involved neighborhoods, and sometimes that can lead to a number of things. And the difference in the ratings that have changed are going to make some neighborhoods more likely or more or better position, I should say, better position to get a collection now than they had been ever before because the ratings work a little differently. NFLPA Week 3 passes are delayed again. The Week 3 passes for the redemption passes to get your memento, that's been delayed. So all I can say on that is let's be honest on this. We've had these glitches on these past redemptions, and we'll have an issue this week, and 2 weeks later it'll be fixed and working well, and then 3 weeks later it won't be working as well. I don't know what the reasoning is why this is different than the previous past redemptions, but we do know that this is something that Upwood is in the process of working on. 1 or 2 days is their expectation to be able to get this fulfilled. Again, key thing here is we are early in this season. I don't know if there was a new mechanic they had put in or things had changed, but ultimately, that pass exchange, this is the first pass exchange, not working properly. We'll get them fixed here for the future. Imagine saying it will happen. It's going to make room for you. Only problem that I have with getting more people in and being able to do so is that the stream died, but it's back again. The only problem with being able to do that and get back in again and have more people have more collections is now we went from 12 a year to 6 a year. So we'll have to see what that does for competition and what people are looking forward to and what they're able to work with from there. Yeah, stream died, stream came back up again. Wasn't that fun? We'll get back in to one more piece here that is worth taking a look at or worth remembering. I guess the one piece is obviously I did kind of mention it before, but there's more going on in this season. So keep your eyes out for Racing Games Start this season. Racing has already started. It would have been nice. So I'm going to put that another reminder out. It is nice to see it to say, oh, the new racing season. Here's your leaderboards. Here's your access to see where you are along the way. It's all back. No, it was me, Magis. The whole thing did die and then come back again. But it is a new start of the new season of the racing season in Upland. That is for harvest season. That is for all classes of cars. Keno on all classes of cars. We had some issues previously. Upland's made some changes. We might see a little different performance for different people. Hopefully, people are going to be more enjoyable in the racing because we know last season that there were some issues that developed for racing, the glitchiness and a couple things that were the visual tracking of the outcomes of the race weren't the same as the actual outcomes of the race, and to some degree, and in some ways, the visual tracking the game of the racing made things less fun for people, less fun, hard for people to participate in, etc., etc. So, looking forward to a more clean, more fun, more exciting race season this season. Otherwise, we're headed into harvest season. We'll see what happens. I would love to see more contests around holidays. I've loved them in the past when they were there. Obviously, harvest season could also be defined as spooky season. It does contain Halloween. Only thing I think up when it was something around Halloween is because this first set of legits in the game of Upland was specifically Spirit Halloween. Specifically, there was this Halloween parade that was early on, and it kind of didn't work the way it was supposed to. I'd love to see Halloween parades every year. It'd be fun if we could be done, if we could have a winner or a contest, and the winners that win that contest, the neighborhood that wins that contest, they get a parade in their neighborhood, and then people get to go and participate. I'd love to see that be the case again. So maybe Upland, maybe just think about it, get it done this season if we can. But for tonight, thank you so much for being here Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. Just reviewing the news in the game of Upland, a little bit of context, a little bit of history, maybe along the way. Can't get back into interviews. Haven't got any really to put together recently, but we'll get back on top of that. But for tonight, thank you so much for being here, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. Oh, good point, Lily. The BEs for Halloween, the custom-made BEs, those were fun. They essentially costumes for our BEs. That was a fun piece. That'd be nice if the historical ones came back, but B, people had the ability to go and make those again because that was fun. That was a fun piece that we were able to do a number of years ago. But again, thank you so much for being here. If you're not playing Discord Cafe, feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.